Horizon Just Homes and this is The Dark Mechanicum explained by an Australian Warhammer 40k lore by the channel Major Kill. Yes, another Major Kill video. And this is about Dark Mechanicum. I think I heard of this in one of the explainer videos that explain everything. But that's it. No other lore about this I've ever heard. So this is going to be entirely new for me. I know during the, I guess, early wars, the faction of Mechanica split in two, I guess. Right, there's also Dark Mechanicum, but yeah, that's about it. So let's watch it. Major Kill is awesome. He jokingly, spoof parody wise explain things. Is all. I've never come across any other channel who explains Warhammer like that. So this channel is literally unique in that way. So let's watch it.
G'day guys and gal. In Warhammer 40k, it's generally pretty easy to see who are the good guys and who are the bad guys.
Good guys.
Spikes, horns, poor dental hygiene indicate bad. Gold, blue, or clean indicates good, just as a general rule of thumb. However, this line between identifying good and bad becomes blurry when we compare the good Mechanicus with the bad Dark Mechanicum. To help distinguish between the two, just remember that the faction that lobotomizes innocent people to turn them into cyborg slaves while working their lower class to death in appalling conditions are the good Mechanicus, whilst the faction that wanted freedom from a tyrannical overlord who took away their sovereignty by lying are the evil Dark Mechanicum. Puh. See, really easy. Those Dark Mechanicum folks are a disgrace.
So basically this is equivalent to heresy, right? It doesn't align with Imperium, so it's Dark Mechanicum, bad ones.
You ever wonder how the trade legions still have knights, titans, and armor despite how disorganized they always are? The Dark Mechanicum is the answer. Before we get started, the latest and greatest major mini I released last week, the King Orc, sold.
So they don't just trying to get away from Imperium, and that's why they're bad. No, they are supplying chaos. That's why they're dark. Come on.
Like a hooker at a Viagra testing clinic. We sold out within a few hours, and a lot of you guys and gal have asked if they'll come back because you missed out. But as I said, there was and only ever will be 100 of them.
Oh yeah, King Orc, right? He was talking. What the fuck is with the King Orc? They were around during the war in heaven time. Somebody comment a good video about it. Did Lutin make it? Did somebody Major Kill make it? Who made it? Because they are gigantic compared to the normal orcs. What's happening there? Where they all go?
Scale King Orcs. However, as of today, you can now pick up the significantly smaller King Orc at a fraction of the cost. The new King Orc is about the size of a Primarch, so it would be a great proxy for an especially large war boss. Available from the store now. It's been great to see people get their major minis painted and sent to me for the $10,000 painting competition. Max, with his awesome take on the Shark Daddy, giving him a new bony tribal appearance. Sio, who converted his Terminator Lord into a corny boy, even giving him his own warband. Brad, with his simple yet clean Nightlord scheme. Aaron, with his Lord of the Night Nightlord scheme. Remember guys, finishing the bases and taking a good photo is just as important as a good paint job. Today we'll go over the lore of the Dark Mechanicum and the Schism of Mars, detailing why about half of the Mechanicum broke away from the Emperor's realm, what happened when they did, and what they're currently up to. Let's get into it. The cutesy zero ethics toaster fucker Mechanicus that we all know and love today is quite different from the Great Crusade and Post-heresy era Mechanicum. It's now considered a subfaction of the Imperium rather than an ally and vassal that it used to be. The Mechanicum of Mars had existed for thousands of years before the Emperor swooped in and yoinked their sovereignty using a magic trick. They were a proud people, technologically advanced, and one of the few pockets of humanity that were able to overcome and triumph over the Age of Strife. They had their titans, knights, Skitarii, and battle robots for centuries before the Emperor came. The point I'm trying to make is that they stood on their own 2 feet, or 8 feet, depending on how hard.
That makes no sense. If the Emperor wasn't, they existed with titans and shit before Emperor was even a thing, how did they not attack Earth and try to take over it? I mean, well, they were so good-hearted they didn't do that, because clearly Mechanicus equipment is untouched even in Emperor's time. Right, even the 31st millennia. So how they didn't basically took that and try to conquer Earth or something? How was there never a battle?
they were cosplaying as their favorite Bionicle. When the Emperor came to them, he needed their forges to build his weapons, vehicles, ships,
Okay, why the fuck there's a third hand?
else. However, Mars isn't just going to give some random dude all their shit, no matter how beautiful they may be. Hence, when the Emperor came, he fixed the machine Jesus style, and more or less convinced most of Mars that he was the Omnissiah, a mythical avatar of their machine god who was promised to one day come and lead Mars into a new golden age. With him now appearing as their Jesus, they bowed to his will and created the tools of his conquest. However, there were some that believed him to be a liar, a powerful psyker who had tricked Mars into thinking he was their chosen one. They didn't speak of this out loud, as the other Martians would have destroyed them as a heretic, or the Emperor would have crushed them with his armies, but that resentment was still there. A good question people asked, was the Emperor actually the Omnissiah, or did he just lie out of his ass? Well, you could say both. Mars gained its technological supremacy due to the fact that the Emperor knocked out and buried a fuck-off massive shard of the Void Dragon, the Catan god of technology, under Mars. Then the Void Dragon's dreams saturated the planet and made the people more intelligent. So technically, the Void Dragon is the Omnissiah, with the Emperor just knowing how to take credit because he set the whole thing up. However, if you are the one that...
Oh my god, what the fuck? So Catan's Void Dragon shard, whatever, was buried under Mars, and since then their equipment is untouched. So I always had this thing with me that, the Lord told us that Mechanicus, right, prays to this mechanical god, and sometimes it works, right? Praying somehow works. But what if that is just this shard, Catan's shard working? Then there is no actual Omnissiah. Because so far I was like, okay, there could be Omnissiah because praying actually works. Sometimes it just pays off or whatever, right? That's what Lord tells us. But it could be the Catan's shard, dragon, whatever he said. I didn't know that. That's a pretty interesting fucking lore. Holy shit. So, their equipment that is so badass today is because of that. So before Emperor, their equipment was fine, not that good, not compared. So Catan are the reason why they are so badass. Catan themselves being somewhat of a god, so kind of makes sense. So that Catan shard, that could be the god that they are thinking of. I don't know. I always assume in the warp there must be some Mechanicus god, just like how there are orc gods, elder gods, but I don't know.
Void Dragon as a tool, you have created the cult Mechanicum, so would you not be the Omnissiah? It's an interesting debate. However, regardless of the technicalities, the unfaithful Martians had a point. The Emperor was lying in some capacity in order to use the Martian forges. These resentful Martians, which included the leader of Mars, the fabricated General Kelborg Hull, bided their time. They couldn't risk open rebellion. However, when Horus Lupercal, the War Master, drank the Chaos Kool-Aid and declared jihad on the Emperor, Mars officially declared for Horus. Yes, that's right. The Mechanicum joined the traitors' side, making it once again a bit of a head-scratcher how the traitors lost. The Mechanicus didn't turn away from the Emperor just because of the Great Lie of Mars, as it's called. Horus offered the fabricated general a number of things. Firstly, Mars would truly regain its sovereignty. All Imperial forces would leave Forge Worlds alone to their own devices. Secondly, Horus gave the fabricated general 2 extremely valuable STC shards. For context, the Mechanicum would and has blown up Imperial worlds if it meant getting one of these, and even once gave 2 guardsmen an entire world to say thank you for finding them a low-level STC shard that taught them how to make sharper knives. Thirdly, Horus would remove all restrictions on experiments and technology, meaning they could fuck around with the stuff that the Emperor had explicitly banned, like AI. This part is important as it is one of the defining features of the Dark Mechanicum. And finally, he would give them the access code to a secret vault that was full of extremely no-no banned technology that the Emperor had sealed forever. You know shit is evil and powerful when it gets sealed away instead of destroyed. With this generous offer combined with the fabricated general's own resentment towards the Emperor, the Mechanicum joined Horus's cause. This obviously didn't go over super well with many of the Martians who believed the Emperor as the Omnissiah. Although Mars officially declared for Horus, about half of the Martians rebelled, aiding the Imperium.
So, Emperor literally took the strategy of what history tells us. In the past, lots of kings and emperors aligned themselves with the god, like God's right hand or incarnation of God, isn't that, just so there is no revolt. Because people can align with anyone. People can betray anyone, but not when it comes to God. Religion is an extremely powerful tool for rulers. The Emperor literally used that there, right? I'm your Omnissiah. So even if there's some shit like this happens, right? There are people who are going to be, no, we can't go against the God. He's the Omnissiah.
and waging vicious wars on the surface of Mars. Enough Martians were able to get to Terra that they were able to create an entirely new and advanced Astartes battle plate in time for the Siege of Terra. The Mechanicum were a massive asset to the traders, directing supplies away from the Loyalists, bolstering traders, and causing an all-round ruckus. One of the main reasons why the Istvan Dropsite Massacre was such an overwhelming victory for the trader legions is because the Mechanicum had recently created armor-piercing bolter rounds that were designed to kill Astartes. So during the battle, each trader bullet was worth about 3 Loyalist bullets in terms of damage. The true birth of the Dark Mechanicum wasn't this treachery, however. It was when Kelbor Hal opened up the vaults of Moravec, which were the no-no sealed vaults that I discussed before. In the vaults was warped-infused technology, a lot of chaos, and insane viruses. When Kelbor embraced the technology and its tainted code, it unleashed literal chaos all across Mars. Computers started playing hentai on full blast, fleshlights grew teeth, and it was all round a shit time. It also twisted many of the Mechanicum adepts into chaos abominations.
No. God, I'm a very visual person, I've said in the past. So I'm just imagining this. He just opened the wall, those anticipated evil type of music starts playing, increasing in intensity, and chaos spreads through with the red mist or whatever, and hentai starts playing in full blast. I'm like, God damn it. Yep, there you go. Hentai, just evil thing.
They begun making cook shit to help the Warmaster's cause. However, as we know, the power of friendship prevailed, and Horus's bold, shiny head got splattered as the Emperor killed him and won the heresy for the Imperium. With Horus's defeat, the traitor legions fled to the Eye of Terror, leaving the traitorous Mechanicum a bit, vulnerable. With the Loyalist counterattack combined with the Loyalist elements of the Mechanicum rising up, the traitor Mechanicum, which was now the Dark Mechanicum, also fled to the Eye of Terror. Now, one of GW's greatest crimes has been almost completely ignoring the Dark Mechanicum's existence post-heresy. They have no models, bare bones lore, and no real apparent direct impact. However, to their credit, this is kind of lore accurate. The Eye of Terror has fuck all forge worlds, terrible mineral extraction efficiency, and not that many people who know how to build shit. On top of that, each Dark Mechanicum adept is a free agent, doing whatever they want or serving the highest bidder. There is no unity of purpose like there is for the newly reformed Imperial Mechanicus. Many of the Dark Mechanicum...
Well, that's with everything, right? Even the traitor legions are like that, right? They are doing whatever the fuck they want, the Primarchs and shit like that, who was left post-heresy. So it kind of tracks in that one. In Chaos region, everything's kind of chaotic. I hate it. Why did I use that word?
would rather perform fucked up experiments or shove demons in machines rather than help the trader's cause. Chaos Knights and Titans are still a thing, which means there are definitely still plenty of Dark Mechanicum keeping things afloat, but that's about it. Funnily enough, even though the Dark Mechanicum is kind of right about the Emperor not being the Omnissiah, they think the Omnissiah is a warp entity, an aspect of the Chaos Gods, which is very wrong. Even more wrong than calling the Emperor the Omnissiah. Fuck, I would love to see Mars's reaction to the news that their god is a fucking Xeno. It makes sense why they get such a hard-on for Necron Tech now. They have the same daddy.
Wait a minute, is that a fact? I thought it was vague, it's not defined, but is that a fact in Warhammer lore that Khatan Shar is the Omnissiah? Or just Major Kill just like me, just assuming it? Is it established that this is the Omnissiah that mechanics are talking about? Because that would be something.
Other than the philosophical differences, is there really much difference between the Mechanicus and Dark Mechanicum? Is it unfair to call the Dark Mechanicum evil when the Mechanicus also performs fucked up experiments and procedures that seem to exist purely to laugh in the face of ethics? Yes, there is actually key differences. The Mechanicus is an unfeeling, uncaring machine. It values logic, efficiency, and effectiveness. If they do something that seems cruel and unethical, it's merely the unfortunate byproduct of the fact that their method is the best for getting that job done. They do not torture people for fun. They do not build abominations for a laugh. They have a strict red line that they do not cross. That line doesn't exist for the Dark Mechanicum. They will blend...
Well, they're logic machines, basically. They only use logic, they don't do... Yeah, and they also believe in Omnissiah, so how does that track? Alright, first of all, I think in this universe, what is the end goal of specific thing, right? Chaos want to fuck everything up, right? For everybody, every life out there. So that's a problem. So anybody who aligns with Chaos, that's why they're evil. Everybody else trying to save and survive themselves, even doing heinous things, can be called good persons, right? Good people. even though there is no good in Warhammer world, basically in 41st millennia, but you can, you can group them that way, right? Is there an entity who wants to destroy everything and yeah, that's evil, right? If you have an entity who's trying to just survive and survive everybody else while trying to do fucked up things, so that could be good. They could be, good. I know I just explained how Drukharis can be good, right? They're trying to survive by doing heinous shit, but
1 million babies in a stadium-sized blender, then use the baby-fired muck from the blend to lubricate the armor joints in their Chaos Knights. Not because it is the best lubricant, but because they are fucked in the head. In saying that though, not all of them are like that. There are many who haven't drunk the Chaos Kool-Aid, however don't believe in the Emperor and like to do ethics-free experiments. Deltrian, a Dark Mechanicum adept who used to serve the Night Lords, was actually a pretty cool guy. If it wasn't for the fact that he was on a Night Lord ship, you wouldn't have been able to tell him any different from any other Mechanicus adept. However, the Mechanicus are extremely embarrassed and hateful towards their faithless cousins, and will prosecute them with extreme prejudice, which is probably one of the reasons why the Dark Mechanicum servants don't like to leave the Eye of Terror often. Getting tortured by a loyalist
What the fuck is this? What is coming out of his mouth? Some kind of a list? This is full of list.
fanatical mechanical hentai monster would be a pretty shit experience. I guess the saddest part about all this is the fact that the original purpose of the Dark Mechanicum was to push the boundaries of science and technology beyond anything that had ever been created. No limit, no red tape, just pure invention and innovation. However, almost everything the Dark Mechanicum creates now is the complete opposite. Warp-infused tech stolen from Xenos or Imperial forces. No logic or reason.
So originally Dark Mechanicus was supposed to be that kind of trope. Who won't let ethics come into way, just push the boundaries of science, even if it means doing unethical things. They were pulling from that trope. Holy shit, that's good. I love Warhammer for this. They, take things from every trope, every culture, every events, historical events, and put it all together in this one.
Reliable formulas, just sorcery and witchcraft which follows no understanding of science. But what do we expect? The Chaos Kool-Aid has shown to be a great way to become ugly, lose your soul, and become the exact opposite of what you originally intended when you first drank the Kool-Aid. But hey, it's the Dark Mechanicum which creates the gear for the Noise Marines, so we'll give them a pass. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then
yep, there you go. I loved this video. One of the best Warhammer videos for me because so much information that I had no fucking idea about. Khatan Shard and everything. How Dark Mechanicus work. Alright. Right, people. Comment down for, first of all, good Dark Mechanicus video that you could think of. That King Orc video, definitely that one. How the fuck that thing is so large than an actual orc. And yeah. About the Khatan Shard, is that the same Omnisize? The 3 concept. Comment down if you know any of those videos, right? Because so far I think, Ark is a good, channel for lore. Lutin is a good channel for lore. Bricky doesn't do that much. But I guess Adeptus, Ridiculous, his podcast, he probably have touched that kind of topic. I don't know. And there's Major Kill. This is what I know. But if you know any other good video from any of this channel or any other channel, definitely comment down. Alright? I'll see you next time.